Hey everyone, and welcome to Sketching with Sarah. I'm Sarah, and today's video is another episode of my Fun Fact Friday series. In this series, I talk about fun facts about animals while drawing them. I literally woke up one day and just really wanted to draw a ton of manatees, so this video is all about just that. I'm honestly obsessed with manatees, and they are one of my favorite sea animals. And Manatee Awareness Month is the month of November, and I was born in November, so is it a coincidence? Probably. In this video, I will be doing a bunch of sketches using watercolor pencil. I really enjoy doing this type of sketching because it combines that sketching quality that I love to do so much, but also that watercolor quality that I like to do also. So I found a bunch of reference photos of manatees and just started studying them with these sketches. There are three types of manatees: the West Indian manatee that range along the North American East Coast from Florida to Brazil, the Amazonian manatee that swims along the Amazon River, and the African manatee that swims along the west coast and rivers of Africa. Something that is interesting about manatees is that they can be found in fresh or salt water, as long as it's a calm river, a bay, or canal, and a lot of them do prefer swimming along the coast of Florida. Manatees are the ocean's largest herbivore, and they can eat 10 to 25% of its body weight each day. They eat over 60 species of vegetation, like water grasses, weeds, and algae. Since they have such a large variety of diet, manatees make great indicators on how the ecosystem's health is doing. In captivity though, they mostly eat a variety of veggies like lettuce and cabbage. Manatees are 8 to 13 feet in length and 440 to 1,300 pounds as an adult. Their lifespan is about 40 years. Manatee comes from the Carib word manatee, that means breast or udder, and they're also called sea cows. They really are like cows of the sea because they don't move very fast, and they lack the vertebrae in their neck that most mammals have, so they have to turn their whole body to look around. Manatees have 2,000 thick whisker-like hairs on their faces and 3,000 on their bodies to help them sense and aid them in exploring the world around them. I also read that manatees are nearsighted and can see blue, green, and gray, but not red or blue-green combinations, which I thought was pretty interesting. I guess they wouldn't really need to see red since everything underwater is pretty blue and gray. Manatees usually keep their speed at around 5 miles per hour, but they can motor up to 15 miles per hour in short bursts. It's interesting that since they don't really move very fast most of the time, algae and barnacles are very commonly seen on their backs. Manatees never leave the water, but they usually come up for air every 5 minutes. But this does depend on how active they are at the moment. When manatees are resting, they can hold their breath up to 20 minutes, and when exerting large amounts of energy, they can come up to the surface as often as every 30 seconds. Manatees give birth underwater and push the baby manatees to the surface to take its first breath, and I would imagine that would classify as exerting a large amount of energy. It's so cute when they come up to the surface, they just poke their little nostrils through and then bob it under again to continue their lazy day underwater. Unfortunately, since they only really reveal their nose to breathe above the surface, most of the time it makes them hard to see, especially if there's a lot of glare on the surface of the water. That, in addition to how they aren't very fast or agile, manatees are very commonly brought to rescue centers from being victims of boating accidents. According to Florida Today, 361 of Florida's West Indian manatees died in 2014, and 19% of the overall death toll was from watercraft. There was an interesting bit of trivia I found out that Christopher Columbus caught a glimpse of 3 mermaids and wrote that he, quote, distinctly saw 3 mermaids, which rose well out of the sea, and they are not so beautiful as they are said to be, for their faces have some masculine traits. End quote. We can only speculate now that he was actually spotting an aggregation of manatees. And yes, a group of manatees is called an aggregation, but they usually don't hang out in groups of more than 6. Something really intriguing is that these sea cows are actually more closely related to elephants than they are to other marine creatures. They have a common ancestor with elephants, aardvarks, and the hyrax. I had to look up what a hyrax was because the first thing that came to my brain was the lorax, and that can't be so I looked it up, and hyraxes are these small gopher-like animals that I didn't even know existed, so there's that. While most animals have a heart that has a point, elephants and manatees have hearts that are rounded at the bottom. So those are just some fun facts for this episode of Fun Fact Friday. I hope you learned something new about manatees and are inspired to draw these lovable animals. and maybe now you're obsessed with them just as much as I am. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more art and animal related content. I upload a new video every Friday, and my next milestone is 100 subscribers, and I think we just hit 70, and that's huge! Thank you so much to all of you who watch my videos and leave me comments and feedback. I do take the time to reply to every one of them because it really means a lot, and it's the least I can do to show my appreciation. If you made it this far, please leave a comment to let me know what animals you want me to draw and learn about in the next Fun Fact Friday episode. I'm always taking suggestions. I also saw this video on YouTube. It's like 10 seconds long, and it's of a manatee squishing his nose to the glass of an exhibit or something, and it's the cutest, most wholesome thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and it honestly made my day. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below so it can make your day too. I have all the sources that I use for the information in this video linked in the description, along with my social media and affiliate links to the art supplies I used in this video. So if you want to be art supplies twins with me and support me on my YouTube journey, that's a great way to do so. I only share supplies I actually use in the video and ones that I love and recommend, so if you want to know what I used, those links are for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.